No, absolutely, man. Okay, I gotta ask, and you're a basketball player too, so I have to ask the question. This is a serious one here. This is a serious one. Okay, Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan all day. Don't even talk to me. Okay, no, it's not even, it's Jordan all day. I was blessed. I had the pleasure of playing with Jordan through college and working out with him. So I got a chance to see him up close and see his mentality, his work ethic. It's nothing like it.
So that did it for you. That firsthand experience. It was like,
well, growing up in Chicago,
Chicago, right?
On Friday nights when our local station was WGN, when the Bulls came on, I knew all the moves. I knew everything the man was going to do, and then to get the opportunity to play with him and see how he prepared, not just physically, it was mentally for me. He was so much better mentally than everybody. It wasn't even close. And we do a disservice that we don't give Kobe his respect. I'm going Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
True.
Talk about the mentality.
True.
If I'm competing with somebody or if I'm in war, I want to make sure that they're gonna cut your neck off if they have to. They're not Kobe gonna shoot if 4 people on him. It is what it, and I can live with that. The basketball play will say make the right pass to the open person, but he knows I'm the man. If we're gonna lose, it's gonna be with me. In the same way, that's how Jordan was.
That's said. He said Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
No disrespect to LeBron.
Yes.
I think LeBron
absolutely.
is amazing.
Absolutely.
What he's doing is hands down at this age and still competing at this high level.
Right.
But for me, to see what Jordan did and to see Kobe's mentality, I mean, his razor focus. People, I wasn't a big fan when he was playing. I was like, man, this guy's anal. Then I had a couple of buddies that played with him. They was like, man, he's just super focused. And it was like, wait a minute. If this is my craft, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
This was his craft. And so it's the same way with us, with our business. We have to be super focused, laser focused, and really, you want to dominate. And this is the thing that I realized. We're not competing with you or the persons out at different companies. I'm competing with myself.
Absolutely.
It's so many clients out here for us, and what technology has done, we can see everybody all over the world.
Yes.
So you have to compete with yourself. And I think if we create that atmosphere where we're competing with ourselves and helping each other, we can get more reps, more agents of color, and we can all be successful.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. So going back, I'm sorry for the quick detour. You
gotta, good, man. You good.
I gotta ask the basketball players like that particular question. That's all.
Yeah, you good.
Going back, to your career. So right before you got a license, what were you doing? You had finished playing ball. You had just got married. Were you working in another field? Did you transition directly from ball to insurance? What were you doing prior?
Yeah, so I graduated back in 2002. So we were still living in Norfolk. So I was in the banking industry. I was doing, I was on my way to corporate ladder. I was going to be a bank manager, in the management program. Then I got an opportunity to go play ball. So we got on the plane, played ball, came back. And when I came back, I was working like little odd jobs, just doing something, really just saying, I'm going to try and find something. Let me go back to banking because that's what I knew.
Yeah.
So you know how all the carriers call you. When you put a resume out there, they call you and say, oh, we think you'd be great in sales. They don't know. They just, back in the day, I think they still do it now. They just, if they can get a room of 30 people, they know we can hire at least 10. And out of that 10, maybe 2 will stick.
Right.
And so when I went, and so that's why I transitioned from ball directly into this. So I'm still competitive. I'm still working out, still got that same type of focus. And I'm like, yo, I got to make money. That was my focus. Like, how do I make money?
Yeah.
And how can I be, my mindset was this: no one's going to outwork me. You can have more talent. You can have all the resources, but you're not going to outwork me. Absolutely. So I'm a bet on myself.
Absolutely.
And that's what I did.
Hey, man, absolutely. So almost 16 years later, working in this business, did you ever get to a place where you felt like, I don't know, maybe I should have did something different? I mean, did you have, this is a 2-part question, really. Did you ever get to that place, and how did you get yourself out of that place?
Yes, everybody gets to that place. You start thinking like, can I do something better? But I realized this is a calling. This is like another form of ministry for me. I had the pleasure, some wouldn't probably call it a pleasure, but I've delivered 8 death claims. And to go into those families' living rooms and provide a check and say, I can't replace your loved one, but I can at least provide some financial comfort and help you get through this, and see the kids, go to college and, do things in life. For me, that was like, that's why I do it,
Yeah.
And so that's my thing. I think the thing about this industry is that we're not just limited. You can do so many other things. As you see, you can branch out and do other things. But for me, this was something I will always keep my license. I'll be 90, still got my license, because this is a ministry for me. This is a passion. I know how this impacts. I know how this can change your life. God forbid to lose a spouse or father or mom, and then not have the financial resources to help. That's distraction. That's a disaster waiting to happen. At least if I could come in and provide that peace of mind and say, hey, financially, we're going to be okay.
Yes.
We can get through this with family, friends, and prayer. We can move on. To me, that's what it's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So is that what keeps you, motivated even now? You've mentioned, that it is a part of your ministry and you feel like it's a purpose. Is that what keeps you motivated internally? And also, is there anything externally that you do? Is there any exercise? I know we had talked a little bit about, some affirmation things. Is there anything else, any other thing that you do to stay motivated on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. What keeps me motivated is the legacy. I have 3 boys. My oldest just turned 14 on Friday.
Nice.
My second son will be, he'll be 8 in September, and my baby will be 2 in October. So the goal is, I've seen so many guys that don't look like me, where their kids come into the business and they hand them this big book of business and they hit the ground running. I'm like, how? So this is an opportunity for me to pass a legacy on to my kids. And then also, I'm big on visualizing. So I'm a visualize what I want to see in my practice, what I want to see in my business. And so that motivates me. I try and start my day with a little quiet time. I don't do it every day, but I try my best when possible to just get that quiet time to play out my day. Now that doesn't mean it's going to happen the way I want, but at least I'm putting the energy out there. And I believe once you put the energy out there, you get what you give out.
Yeah.
The law of attraction.
Absolutely.
Know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you started with an incredible foundation. Obviously, you have, great character. Do you feel like, having your license, working in the field, working in the industry, has changed you or grown you as a person? If so, I mean, in what way?
Yeah, it stretched me to understand what you see may not always be the story. Give you a perfect example. You can pull up to a light and you can see somebody with a big car and like, oh my God, that's a nice car.
Yes.
But you don't know the stuff behind it.
Yes.
the turmoil or the agony that they went through to get to where they at. And so you learn to be more empathy with people.
Yes.
Another thing it's taught me that as a professional, I'm always on.
Yes.
If I go out to the grocery store, I'm on. And you never, as a professional, you never want to have to hide because you've done something unethical. So I'm very mindful of that. You're not going to see Mr. Green. Oh, I saw him. He hiding from me. No. Hey, how you doing? Because I know I'm doing things the right way. And so that's grown me to be able to say, you know what, you can't hide. But that's also made me at times early on in my career, in my 30s in particular, living with a mask, putting the front on, thinking that I always have to be on, I always have to be right, and not realizing like, hey, that's not real. That's not healthy for you emotionally, spiritually. And so I'm at a place now where it's like, I am who I am. I'm comfortable in my skin. I was able to grow my hair out. If you'd have told me how to grow my hair, I'd say, man, you crazy. I'm clean cut, white shirt. This is how you do it. But I've evolved, and this process of this industry that we love, it's a love-hate relationship. The maturation of every individual, you should grow. In life, you should grow.
I'm so, man, it's really refreshing to hear you say that, because, I know I've experienced that in my career, and I know of a few others that have experienced that too. And I recently read this report. It's a couple years old, but it talked about the term acculturation. And that was a term I wasn't really familiar with before, but it was, it really dealt with trying to fit in, to certain environments, right? And the report was on, the journey of African-American insurance professionals, and really talking about how, as an African-American, coming into the insurance industry, we're already, man, it's so, we're I think to call us just a minority would be an understatement vastly, right? But it basically spoke to trying to make sure that you were able to acclimate, toward to different environments, right? Because we're around all different kinds of people, and we're definitely not the majority in this business, but also attempting to remain true to yourself at the same time, right?
Right.
So I mean, hearing you say that is like, yes, more confirmation. And the reality is, look, you wearing, you having, your locks, your strong locks, right? That doesn't take away from your intelligence, from your ability to communicate, from your knowledge of your products and your services. It does not minimize you and make you, any less, right? If you have a professional that is going in, and if it's a person who is, wearing a hijab, or they're wearing a dashiki, or females wearing a lap, or whatever it is, that doesn't take away from, hey, this person may still be a top-notch professional than this, other person who looks, more conventional to what you might find, So, man, I said it earlier, commend you, but I commend you on that as well, because it's very important for, younger people coming up to see that they can still be true to themselves. I mean, obviously maintaining a professional standard, right?
Right. let me I don't want to say the company, but I worked for a company early on, and I was taught where you had to have $1,000 suit, you had to drive a certain type of car, you had to do these type of things. And I'm just like, early on I was trying to fit in, like, this is how I do it. And the whole while, love my wife, she was like, I'm not about it. I'm not doing it. I'm like, baby, but she's like, no, that's on you. I'm not doing none of that. That does nothing for me. And so she already was where I am now years ago. And so I think what I always tell new advisors, be yourself, just be professional.
Right.
Like you said, just be professional. And it doesn't take away, but that's something that we had to fit in to make them feel comfortable, to make others feel comfortable in a sense. Right. You know what it's like. I'll go to some of these conferences, it's 5,000 people. And if we got 25 African Americans or Hispanic, you know, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so, I think our industry has to do a better job of being aware of the biases.
Absolutely.
Coming in telling the person, well, you need to have this amount of fees up front and just put on your credit card. Well, that's the bias. What if that person don't have a credit card? Right. That's that's an assumption. And if they do have one, what makes you think they can put $1,000 on fees, and so forth? They don't have that. And so it's us, we have to be aware. And you look at the landscape, it's no managing partners. It's not many, it's not many directors, we're not there. We're not getting, it's not because we're not able to, we're just not getting opportunities. And I always tell people, in this industry, they can be as creative as they want with compensating people. And for us, we always have to go the extra mile. I got to have an MBA and my security license. Well, this guy just has a security license. He doesn't have a college degree, but he's, and I always tell this too, don't be a victim though. It is what it is. Yeah,
that's right.
It is. It is double standards. And I'm not going to say and act like there isn't. There is.
Right.
You just work. You just do your part.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. You just grind. Yeah. You just go.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.